Hi, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, here to give you the quick tea on luxury makeup, and today we are talking about Dior. I did a little bit of a Dior haul today, and I got 4 items, 3 in particular that I want to talk about, but I bought 4 items recently from Dior that are fairly new. So let's get talking. All right, so the first item is a new blush and highlighter duo. So it is called the Rouge Blush Color Glow. So they come with several shades, but I got the deepest one. So you can see it's kind of like a dark red wine berry type of shade, and then you have a beautiful complementary highlighter that comes with it. And not only did they come out with blush and highlighter duos, they also came ones that were a contour powder with the highlighter. I decided to forego the contour powder, although who knows, maybe in the future I might get it. But instead I went with the contour stick. So they have a contour stick and beautiful packaging, very classic. It has an all black, like more of a matte finish to the tube. At the end, it has this nice silver metallic design at the end and the label at the bottom. You pull this apart, and then to get the product, you do a twist action, and as you twist up, you will get product. And so that's as far as it goes. So that's how much product you get with the contour stick. So I decided to go with the contour stick rather than a powder. So we'll be discussing that. I love color eyeliners. Now I own a couple of Dior's liquid eyeliners, but I've actually never bought any of their just like Stylo crayon eyeliners. So they have a new branch of eyeliners, and it's called Diorshow Stylo. These are waterproof creamy eyeliner pens, and they have so many different colors. I decided to just start with just one. I thought it'd be cool to get the matte green shade. Now I have been using it, so if the tip doesn't look pointy anymore, it's just because I've been using it several times at this point. So I know it's going to be hard to see, but I will swatch it for you. And so that is the matte green shade. And I do have it on my eyes. So although the eyeshadows are not from Dior, the eyeliner is. So I thought that would be a fun pop of color for this eye look today. And then the last item I'll really briefly talk about, because in a way it's not new, but I thought I'd mention anyway. It is their lip balms. And I have it in a shade that is not new. It is just the clear. It's Dior Rouge Dior 000 Dior Natural. Actually, they do have 2 new shades, but they're actually all sold out. There was this one shade in particular, Dior Midnight, that I wanted to get. I feel like it would almost be the lip balm version of this. Now, I wasn't even going to bother to show you this lip balm because it's a clear lip balm. There's no point in swatching it. It's not a new shade. The only reason I'm even going to bring it up is just because the packaging did change. So I just figured I would show you. So this is the new one. So sleek on the back, got the CD, and then at the tip it has the same end like the stick. So it has this motif versus the original one. I kept it because you can refill, and I was planning to just buy a refill, but I ended up buying the whole thing. But I just wanted you to see the motif in here is on the strip here with the CD, not at the top with just the top being the strip. So that's really the main difference between the two in terms of packaging. So if you're getting the clear, slightly different packaging, but the shade is the same. So you can just buy a refill and use what you got. But if you're able to get the 2 new shades, you can also get it in the new packaging. Now with the other 3 products, I will go more in depth on a review on those 3 products. I've been using them for the past week or so, so I do have a good feeling about these products at this point. And I did use the 3 products to create this makeup look, and I did do a demo video for it. So I'm gonna first have you watch the demo video. For the outside of the eyeshadow, it's pretty much a total Dior face. So actually, I did the whole Dior face with you, so you can even see some other Dior products that I used to create this look. Watch the video, see the application of the products, and then I will give you my final thoughts on the products and show you some swatch comparisons, particularly for the contour stick. Be right back. All right, so I'm excited to use some of my new Dior products today. And I figured I'd do basically like a Dior face, although I'm gonna use an eyeshadow from a new indie brand just because it just arrived today, so I want to try a new eyeshadow palette. But I'll show you the rest of my Dior face, and particularly the new items that have arrived. So foundation wise, actually I'm going to use a sample because with my purchase I got the Forever Glow foundation, and it does come with the primer, so I'll apply the primer. We'll see how I like that. And then when it comes to the foundation, to be honest, I'm usually 5N, 5 neutral, but I might just go with warm. Unfortunately, there's a 4N. They did neutral in every other shade, but when it came to 5 and 6, they did warm. But you know, maybe because it's summertime, actually it might actually work out the warm shade. So I think I am getting a little bit warmer now that it's summertime. So let's do 5W on the face. Before we do the foundation, I'm going to apply the primer. I believe I've tried samples of this foundation before, but I'm not sure if I did the primer. I don't remember. So it's looking quite white, but I'm sure it will blend into the skin clear. As I figured it would be transparent. I don't think it's really causing much of a cast or anything like that. It feels nice. Doesn't, you know, gives me a little bit of moisture. I have dry skin. Got a slight tack to it, which you know you expect from a primer, but it's not like too sticky either. All right, now let's apply the foundation. Okay, so this is 5W. I'm gonna apply some dots. It's kind of looking orange, but let's see as we apply. Just using a Sonia G. Like I said, right now, I think especially because it's summertime, you know, my skin tone is getting a little bit darker and probably a little bit more red than usual. So I think the W is fine, like especially if it was winter time, I would prefer neutral, but I think this is a time of year that I can pull off a warm. All right, I might just apply maybe just a slightly more product, but overall it's looking beautiful. It doesn't feel cakey, feels light on the skin. This is supposed to be the Glow foundation, so yeah, it's radiant, but I also don't feel like it's obnoxious with the radiance. All right, so foundation's on. Like I said, I think especially in the summertime, actually I think 5W actually does work well. So now going with one of my favorite concealers. It's the Dior Forever. This is in 4.5N. A lot of the products I'm going to use is not only just Dior, but they are specifically Forever. So just as a brand, this whole Forever brand collection of Dior I just love. So in every category, I just think Dior Forever is beautiful. You know, it's so easy to blend. I think everything is just, it's just a lovely product. It never feels cakey and it is just gorgeous. So I'm just gonna finish blending off camera and then we'll move on to a really important step. I figure you probably want to see how the concealer blends. So I did the other side already, but I'll do this with you. But it just blends seamlessly. It's just such an easy blend. Gives great coverage. It's just gorgeous. All right, now to a new product. So it is time for the Dior Forever Skin Contour Stick. It's got like a matte pattern on the outside, but I love the beautiful top. nice detailing and everything. So this is not my first time. I've been using it for like the past week. It has a twist up action, and you do get a decent amount of product. Now I'm going to twist it back down so just a little bit is up. Now, you know, really when I do a lot of cream bronzers, cream contours in the past, I would always do like a stripe in this area. What I've learned, because this is very pigmented, very cool toned, you don't need much product at all. And what I've discovered, I like to just stamp. And no, I really don't put much. Like I just stamp at the outer and then I blend in. I just do a stamp. Oh, that might have been too much, to be honest. I'll probably spread some of that over, but you know, let me just, okay, and that's it. Like I stamp a dot and that's it. And you'll even see I'll take some of the excess from the brush to use for nose contour. So time for blending. Yeah, I've been using Sonia G brushes this whole time. This is what I've been loving to use with it. It's the classic base brush. And yeah, as you can see, it blends nicely. And maybe I'll take down the light because I don't want it to wash it out. But I really don't like to put too much of this product because it is very pigmented and very cool tone, which it's a contour as to be expected. But I feel like a lot of the products that I normally own are more bronzer, have a more warmth to it, and it can be a little bit more liberal with it. Because this is so cool tone, I feel like I don't need much product, which is not a bad thing. I've actually come to really like this product, but you can see how it's brought some coolness to my face, unlike a bronzer that would bring warmth. But, you know, it helps give me that chills action. So I just kind of take whatever excess is on my brush and do it for the sides of my nose, because I don't like to be overly contoured with my nose. I like my nose. I'm not trying to completely change the shape of my nose. So I just kind of take whatever's excess to do the sides of the nose. But yeah, as you can see, it blends beautifully and you don't need much product. Trust me, if I did the whole swipe, it would have been a lot. I remember the first time I did it, I went a little bit too heavy-handed, and I've just learned like a little bit goes a long way. I've applied my cream contour, cream bronzer. I always set it with powder. And so it's no different here. And I think especially for me, important for me, because this is so cool tone, that actually I also think the powder helps to kind of soften a bit. So sticking with the whole Dior, this is the Backstage No Powder Powder. Well loved, as you can see. Like I said, still using Sonia G brushes, but that helps to set it. And the neutrality of this, and it's a little bit warmer, helps to just soften the coolness of the contour. It's still there, but you know, I don't want it to be too gray on my skin because it's such a true contour that, you know, I do like things to be kind of more balanced. And I just set my under eye powder, under eye concealer with a Pat McGrath powder off camera, and just did my brows, did a little refreshing spray. But just wanted to give you one more look at the complexion. So I hope you can still appreciate the contour. You know, I purposely don't like to be heavy-handed with it because it is so cool toned and so pigmented. It is a very deep shade. So I want it to be natural. So I hope you can still appreciate the contour that it did bring. You know, it helps to give that kind of chiseledness to the look. But I think, you know, the balance with the powder and the concealer helps to keep things very even and feel still very natural and not overdone. All right, I'm gonna do my eyeshadow off camera, and then we'll come back and do the cheeks together. Before we get to the cheeks, I had to interrupt my eye look because we have to use a new Dior eyeliner, the Diorshow Stylo, and I have it in the shade Mint Green. And so this will definitely be a pop of color for this look. I'm gonna put it on my waterline. And as you can see, it is so creamy and pigmented. It glides so easily. Like, oh my God, it's like one of the easiest liners to use. So this is my first time using the liner, but I can tell you, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. So let me go finish the eye look. Be right back. Taking one more Dior item into this eye look. It's one of their liquid eyeshadows. It's not liquid eyeliners. It's not a new product. It's in the shade 461. It's a fun green shade. It's a very unique green shade. I applied the liquid liner off camera because I'm just not good at doing it on camera. I hope you can appreciate it. I thought it would complement the mint eyeliner that's on the water lash line. It's a different green, but like I felt they kind of complement, and just doing this kind of fun minty blue pastel-y look. I know it's a unique eye look, but I think it's a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if this blush is going to really go with this eye look, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to show you one of the new blushes from Dior. So this is part of the Rouge Blush Color Glow. So it's a duo, and I have the deepest shade, Wild Dior. So you got a blush and a highlighter. So we're going to start with the blush. Now, I know looking at it in the pan, it looks very deep. You figure it's going to be very pigmented. It does show up, but it's actually probably not as pigmented as you would think. I'm going to first start with my normal brush that I usually use with most blushes, which is the Sonia G Soft Cheek Brush. Now, it is called the Soft Cheek Brush, so it applies things softly. So I'm going to apply this first, and I hope you can see it. You know, I know sometimes the lighting can wash it out, but it does show up. So I hope you can appreciate nothing on this cheek, and there it is on the other cheek. And then what I might do is, let me apply on both cheeks, and then I think I might even use another denture brush just so that you can even see it more with that brush. But I think you can see that there. So it's a beautiful shade. I think it picked up well. I don't really need to do too much. I'll add a little bit more, but I don't want to do too much because I think it is showing up well for you guys. And you know, this is a strong eye look as well, so I don't want to go too crazy with the blush. And next we're going to go into the highlighter. This one, I can tell you, I'm going to just go in lightly because this one definitely shows up. So I'm purposely going in it lightly with my brush. But it's beautiful. It's got more of a cool tone to it. You know, I'll do swatches for you at another time. I'm just gonna place this on my T-zone. But I hope you can appreciate the highlighter. It's a beautiful highlighter as well. Now I know I used already the cream contour, but I always still put a bronzer on top of my cream contour. So I have to say this is my favorite bronzer, and it is from the Dior, the Forever line. So you can see how much, yeah, and I don't care. I will use it up till there's nothing left on the pan. I always make funny faces when I do the bronzer. I feel like that's absolutely necessary. We're gonna put a little bit up top, but I think it complements well with the cream contour to have the bronzer as well. We need something on the lips. I'm always using like the Dior Addicts, but I'm like, I need to use like their matte formulas. Unfortunately, this is gonna be a shade that I don't think is, I think it was limited edition. It came with one of those Dior purses that they do every holiday season. I broke it out because I don't use these lipsticks and they're so good. So it's a beautiful one because it has beautiful embossing. I think it's called Fortune, Rouge Fortune. It's a velvet formula. Already brown. I thought I'd match well with the blush and just ground the look. Alright, so this is the final look. I know I usually go for more of a nude lip, but I thought it'd be fun to just do a bold lip. I know, bold eye look, bold lips. Let's just go bold today, but I just felt like it matched really well with the blush, and I just haven't used this lipstick in forever. But yeah, in the end, I still think it all came out great. It's a great fun look. So let's get together now and discuss the 3 new products from Dior that I used today, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Here we go. Alright, so I hope you found the demo video helpful. So now let's really dig deep on these 3 products. So let me just first start with the eyeliner to get that out of the way. So we have the Diorshow Stylo, and I have it in the shade Matte Green, Matte Mint. There's so many shades that are available, which is great, and I may go back for more because I actually really do like this formula. You know, it's called a waterproof creamy matte eyeliner. Totally agree. It feels so, you could just feel it as you're applying it. It glides seamlessly. I actually love it. So I still have it from when I just swatched it in front of you earlier, and it really hangs on. It is, I'll just get closer. I've been using it really just mainly on my waterline. That's just how I would want to use it. And it just applies so well on the waterline, and it stays. It really does last. I haven't had no issues. It lasts me all day. And this particular shade is just a fun shade. I don't really have too much like it. Actually, the one that I do have like it, I especially wanted to buy because to replace, this was from Odin's Eye Soul Mane. This is number 004. I think this is a limited edition, so I'm not sure if it's available. It might be, might not be. This would be something that would be a similar shade, but actually no, it's different. I was thinking maybe they might be similar. But the quality of this, you know, I know what we're paying more, but I can tell you this like breaks apart. This, you can tell, you can feel it, it's flimsy. So it's not, but I bought it because it's a great color. But you can tell the difference when you buy the luxury brands versus non. You know, you're paying more, but you can tell that they last longer. I have affordable drugstore liners, and I have luxury, and I can tell you all my luxury liners all last way past my drugstore ones. Just saying. So you pay for what you get for. I did get the 2 most recent Chanel, but I think they're going to be different. So Nuage Blue or Nuage Bleu. They're all in the same family though, but this, I don't know if you can appreciate, but this is truly more a mint green. This does lean more blue. You might not appreciate, but this is got a little more sparkle to it, and it's more kind of sheer, where this is truly more matte. So, and you know, the tip is different. This is the Chanel, this is much thicker. So this is especially great. I do use it in the waterline, but it's great to smudge out, where the Dior has a more pinpoint end to it. And then this one's definitely going to be different. Dior Leaf. It's green, but more yellow green. So the Chanel is more blue, either more blue or more green. And this hits right there. And you could just tell that it's a different formula, that it's truly a matte, pinpoint accuracy. It would be more similar to the Chanel's other matte formula, but other matte eyeliner, but then it's got the creaminess of this one, the Stylo Ombre et Couture, versus it has the pinpoint accuracy of the other eyeliner. So it's kind of like a hybrid of the 2 Chanel eyeliners, if that makes sense. All right. Now I know Victoria Beckham came out with the mint one, and I'm surprised I didn't get it because I have most of Victoria Beckham's eyeliners. I usually buy every one that comes out because I think she has the best eyeliner formula. Surprisingly, I didn't buy it, so I don't have a comparison to that because that would have been a great comparison, but that's what I got. So that's what I think of the eyeliners. I definitely think if there's a shade that you like, it is worth getting. So, you know, and there's a lot of choices to pick from. Just real quick before we move to the next product. So I was just trying to rub off the eyeliner. Now, I wasn't using a true makeup like eye makeup remover, just a regular like wipe. And you could see the Stylo ones from the Chanel, they both wiped off easily, but not the Dior. So that's the difference. You know, these are truly waterproof, more long lasting compared to the Stylo from the Chanel. So just wanted to point that out. All right. With a little more elbow grease, I was able to get the eyeliners off. So now let's talk about the contour stick. This is probably one of the products that I was really excited for. I love a good cream contour bronzer. It's part of my everyday makeup routine. It's always foundation, concealer, and a cream contour. Yes, I do use powder bronzers, but it's always on top of a cream contour. So this is like, this kind of product is a staple in my makeup routine. Now, it's not always in a stick form like this, but there's always some sort of cream contour. So this was perfect timing because I was actually hitting pan on my beloved Tom Ford. So I was like, great, let's try something new. Now, I'm going to tell you about what I think about the product itself, but I do want to mention in terms of the shades. There are only 4 shades. Now, what I will say about this shade is, what I do love about this shade is how deep it is. I think this will service a lot of us, of my skin tone, and probably even deeper than me. And so I do love how deep this goes. On the other hand, I will say it is a really big jump between 3 and 4. We need a 3.5 because those of medium deep skin tone, they basically went medium and then deep. Well, there's those of us who are medium deep and we need something in the middle there. So I do think it would be great if they would add a couple more shades, and specifically from my perspective, a shade between 3 and 4. I can't comment too much of 1 and 2, but I can tell you there's definitely a need between 3 and 4. And there probably is a need for, for there to be a 5. I don't know, but I can definitely tell you like a 3.5 is needed because this is very deep, which is great. And I'm able to pull it off. But if you're a little bit lighter than me, then this might be too deep for you. And that obviously, is going to be an issue. So let's look at this again. I've showed you the packaging, but yeah, this is deep. Okay. I'm going to show you some swatch comparisons of the cream contour that I have. So let's just first start with Dior. So I hope you can appreciate. Yeah, that's deep. That is deep, which I love. In my case, I'd rather it be deep, and then what I do is then, I'm just more careful. As I was kind of suggesting during my demo video, I was telling you that with all my other cream contours, I tend to do like a big heavy swatch, slash down my cheeks, and then I learned quickly, this is very deep, and this is in the truest form contour. This has a gray undertone. So with this one, I don't want to go too heavy because I think it can get overboard. So I literally will just put a dot here and then bring it down. Dot, dot, and that is it. But I brought out my other cream contour so we can compare. I have them in this cute, look at this cute Dior makeup bag. I thought I'd also bring this out just to let you know, like if you don't realize, like Dior gives great gift with purchases. Like, a lot of times you might have to spend, you might have to spend $150, $100, $130, something in that realm. Sometimes you can get away with $75, $50, depending on, there's different offers depending on how much you spend. But you can get great gifts, and this is great. Now, this one, I got it by making a Dior purchase from Bloomingdale's, but I know Dior's website themselves have sold this before. So this is a kind of thing that you can get sometimes that will pop up from Dior's website, or like on Bloomingdale's, I'm sure Nordstrom, that kind of thing. So I threw everything in here. So let me bring them out. So I'm bringing out 4 cream contours, bronzers to compare to. So the first one I'm going to compare to is the Tom Ford, because this is my OG. This is, I think, my 3rd one that I've done, and you can see, yeah, it's my fave. So I'm gonna swipe on the outer rim because I have hit pan on the center. And prior to this was, I would say, probably like my deepest contour. And you can even see, as deep as I've always considered this, Dior is deeper. Dior is deeper. And I'll try to blend this out more. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I don't know if you're gonna appreciate, because you can see the brown in it. I'm telling you, on my skin, like, it really does have a gray undertone. This has a little bit of a gray undertone as well, but I feel like this is deeper and more gray. Just so that you know. My next fave is Danessa. Now, one thing I'll say is, with all the products I'm showing you, I'm normally picking the deepest shade. In this one from Danessa, I have Deep 2. It's not the deepest. I believe Deep 3 is the deepest. So I believe this is the second to last. So just so you know, as I'm swatching this, just know there's a shade even deeper than this. But this is what I have chosen to use, and that's what I chose to buy. I went with Deep 2 to be safe. I wasn't sure what to get, and I love it. So I have no issues that I bought this at all. No regrets. You can see how much I love it. So you can see comparatively, the Deep 2 is more of a bronzer, a cream bronzer, or you know, comparatively, you know, where this you could definitely see is deeper and more cooler. These ones are cooler, so this gives a little bit more contour action comparatively. They do call this a contour. I believe it's a balm contour, but just comparatively, it's more bronzer compared to the other ones I just showed you. Let me now bring out NARS. This is Laguna 5. Now this is labeled as a cream bronzer. So as I'm swatching this, I'm gonna swatch it, but this truly is a bronzer and not a contour. So where everything else is being labeled as a bronzer, the rest are contours, but this one is a bronzer. So it's lighter, but it is meant to be warmer. So when this comes off warmer, it's because it's a bronzer. It's not a contour. Now, the last one I'm going to show you is from Western Atelier, and this is Ganache. So this is a stick form, and this is truly contour. So this, I will say, is definitely a contour. I think you can probably appreciate the gray tone to it, but it's not as deep as the Dior. So I actually personally, for me and my skin tone, I prefer the Dior to the Western Atelier because it's deeper. I actually do appreciate having that contour action. So that's why I think I don't use much of the NARS as well, although it's beautiful. It applies beautifully. So these, the Tom Ford and the Danessa, have been always the one I've used because they are a bronzer, a contour. You know, I'll need some more time to make a decision what's my favorite, but you know, I do appreciate that. I would, if we call it a range, you know, where this is like a contour, I would call them these two like bronzer on me. Then this is a true bronzer, and then this is a true contour, but it's just lighter. So you know, that's the thing. I prefer the depth of this one, but I do appreciate that these two have more of a bronzer on my skin tone. So, but I love it. It applies well, it blends well, and I'm happy I'm able to add this to my collection because I do feel the color and tone is unique to what I already own. So I'm really actually happy to add this to my collection. So, do I recommend it? Yes, I do. Just Dior, maybe add some more shades because, like I said, this might be too deep. If you're a little bit lighter than me, or you just don't like, you know, a real chiseled look, then you know that you might find this a little bit deep for you. But I love it. All right. Lastly, let's talk blush. All right, so we got blush and highlighter, but let's start with the blush side. So I think this is a beautiful blush color, Wild Dior. You know, I love a good deep berry. It's a reddish berry tone to it, so I love it. You know, because it is hard pressed, so it's not hard to pick up. It's not hard to pick up, but especially if you're my skin tone, don't be scared of this. Like, it's not gonna immediately just come out like with crazy pigmentation, but you can build it up, you know. And I didn't want to do too much, honestly. You know, I got a lot going on with the eyes, the lips, so I like this level of blush. If you wanted it to be more pigmented, you I use the soft cheeks on your G brush, but you could have gone with a more dense brush, and you can build it up. So it is buildable. But yeah, don't be afraid if you are my skin tone that it's not going to come from the beginning off the bat like too hard with the pigmentation. So you're able to like build it up to your desire. I think this is a beautiful shade. So like you can see, like it shows up, but it's not like you might think it would be a much more scarier shade on, much more pigmented, but on my skin tone, like it's nicely balanced, not too pigmented, but it's there. So do I have anything like it? I don't know. I just brought out a whole bunch of blushes, and let's see. Let's do Gucci Warm Berry, because I'm trying to think, okay, this is kind of like in the berry tone. I think this will probably be lighter. Oh yeah, that's definitely lighter. And it has a more softer undertone to it. Oh, let's do Dior. Haha, let's compare to Dior. So let's do 999, the infamous 999. Now this one is definitely going to be different. This is going to be like a true 999 is like a red. This is a true red, even maybe leaning towards orange. So yeah, you know, not the deep berry that you see with the Wild Dior. So that's totally different. Just for fun, this is not it at all. But it's my other Dior blush, Poison Matte. This is a pink. I'm just having fun at this point because this is not even comparable. But if you've just been curious about Dior blushes in general, so let me go to Chanel, because Chanel is where you can get a little bit more red tone blushes. Chanel loves to do red generally. This is Rouge Profonde, one of the most famous shades. So it's red, but like you could see, definitely lighter, not comparable to the Dior, because the Dior has more of a wine kind of tone. If you guys remember this one from early last year. So these are red tone, but like I said, these are going to be more straight red and not really berry. So that's definitely different. So the last one I'm going to just do is the newest one from Chanel, because this one is more berry. So this is probably the most comparable. I think it'll probably still be different, but it's probably maybe the most comparable. So let me actually put it up top so it's closer to it. But even still, so it is closer, but you can see this one is deeper, more redder, more wine, and just formula-wise, you can see it's not powdery. Like you can see all the other blushes comparatively are so much more powdery, and that's the thing. Like the Dior is not powdery. So, and that's what I was saying. Like no matter how deep it looks in the pan, it's not gonna be like go crazy all over your face, and you might, if you really want to bring out, especially if you're much deeper than me and you're really trying to bring out the pigmentation, it may be really helpful to use a denser brush rather than the soft brush that I used, just to bring it out more. But yeah, I think it's a great tone. I think it's unique, and it's and stays in its own lane. So lastly, let's see if I have any highlighters that are similar. I'll just bring a couple. Like I said, I'm just throwing some out there. It might not be comparable, but just for fun. Who doesn't love a swatch party? Lastly, let's look at the highlighter side now. So let's see this swatch. So like you could see, like it's got some golden peachy aspects to it, but you know, it's also got some coolness to it. So this is an interesting shade. So let's see if I have some highlighters that are similar. First highlighter I'm going to try comparing it to is a highlighter that's new from this year. It's from Fenty. It's called Yum Rum, which I love. So this is like a rose gold and has some cool tone to it. So I think this might be, yeah, I figured it would be comparable. So very similar, you know. I think the Dior is still a little bit maybe brighter, cooler. And then, you know, the Fenty, this is their light diffusing highlighter. So it is meant to be, it definitely shows up on me, no question. But it's also supposed, you know, has much more of a softer finish compared to the Dior. You know, Fenty's always been known for those really blinding highlighters, and then this year they definitely toned down their highlighter formula, which I do appreciate it. So I think it's comparable, and I love them both. This is from LYS, called Genuine, another rose gold. So trying to find rose gold highlighters, because that's, I feel, is what's going to be comparable. So once again, this might be a little bit more peachier and definitely bright. But yeah, so here's some, if you're interested in a rose gold highlighter, here are some other options outside of Dior, and they're probably a little bit more affordable if you go for Fenty or LYS. So if you want it to be more softer finish, go with the Fenty. If you want a more blinding finish, then go with the LYS. Let's see if this is comparable. This is from Chanel, and I believe this was a limited edition, so I probably shouldn't be showing you this, but this is the Pearls de Lumière, and this is like one of my absolute favorite highlighters. And if you could tell how I've really worn this down, I still have a lot of product, but I'm telling you, I use this a lot. So there you go. So obviously you could tell I love me a good rose gold highlighter. So they're all, when it comes to highlighters, there's so many that are very similar. It's kind of hard to create a new highlighter at this point. Another favorite is Golden Nectar. Probably should even bring out Venus Nectar from Pat McGrath. Maybe I'll do that. Because golden, as you can see, is definitely more golden. Let me see if I can bring out Venus Nectar, because that might have a little bit more peachy or even closer to rose gold finish to it. Let's do Pat McGrath Venus Nectar. I'm pulling it out of this blush highlighter trio. Now this might be a little more pinky, more peachy, but as you can see, all, typical rose gold. And the last one, I definitely think is going to be a different tone to this highlighter, but I just figured I threw it out there because it's Dior. How does it compare to a typical Dior highlighter? So this one is Golden Glow. This is definitely like an orangey tone to it, and it's icy. So I know the color's not going to be comparable. I just wanted to have a feel for the formula, just to kind of, I'm just feeling this again, just seeing how, if it feels different to me, if the finish, in terms of just the application, I'm just, I think I actually really do like the new formula. This is the new Dior, and this is the old Dior. So you can see the shine that you get with the new one compared to the old one. And I always thought the old one was very blinging, but yeah, but it applied smoothly. Like, that's the thing. I don't feel like, it's not like they created harsh particles or anything. It applied really smoothly and beautifully. So I like the combo. And a lot of times I don't necessarily think of a red tone blush with a rose gold, but it actually worked really well together. Great combination. So yeah, with all the 4 products, would I recommend? Yeah, I mean, the lip balm, okay, that's a really expensive lip balm. I'm not saying you need to spend that much on a lip balm, but I like to use it as a primer underneath any matte lipsticks that I use. I know, it's a bougie thing to do, so maybe you don't necessarily need to do the lip balm, but I do like the formula. It's decent. The contour stick, love it. And it's just great to have a true deep contour shade. This blush highlighter combo, beautiful. And then I love a fun eyeliner, and I just love how creamy it is. It applies beautifully, and it long lasting. So I put Dior in my top 3. My top 3 eyeliners are Victoria Beckham, Chanel, and now we also have Dior for eyeliner. So yeah, totally recommend these Dior products. Hopefully you found this helpful, this whole video helpful. And if you aren't already subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. If you like this type of content, hopefully you'll keep watching and come back and see what's the next product that lands into my collection the next time. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.